Hey guys. My voice still. Maybe I chose a bad time to do this. I haven't had a video in a while, so I thought it was time to give you an update. Wow. Where do I begin? I have some good news, and I have some not good news. Some pretty bad news, actually. Maybe what I'll do is start with the bad news and then with the good news, so that we end on a happy note. First off, this cold is still hanging on. It's been over a month now. And the hoarseness is hanging on. And it comes and goes throughout the day. Like, I'll have moments during the day where I'll think that my voice is getting better. And it's sounding more normal. And then 2 seconds later, I'll, get some mucus caught in my throat, a tickle in my throat, and I'll start coughing. And then I have no voice. Kind of like that. So I've still been dealing with that. And still not sleeping well. And so that, and the cold, and the lupus symptoms, and the fatigue from lupus all combined is not a fun party. I've just been finding it harder and harder getting through the day. My energy level, it's not good, although it's weird, like, it'll go up and down, I find. I'll have some moments, mostly in the mid-morning, where I'll feel pretty good, and I'll feel like I have energy, and, like, most of the time, actually, like, when I leave my house, when I walk out the door to go to work, I'm walking at a pretty normal pace. I feel like I have energy. I feel like I'm gonna have a great day, and I feel great. And then I start to get tired of walking when I get to the end of the street. But then I'm like, oh, okay, I still feel pretty good. I'm gonna be okay. And then I fall asleep on the bus. So that doesn't work out too well. And then by the time I get lunch ready and start a load of laundry, the exhaustion's already starting to kick in at that point. So the high doesn't last long, and the low starts and just keeps going down. I've also been experiencing more pain the last few days. I had the swollen red fingertips again. This one and this one a few days ago, as well as this one. But they've gone down. But what I do have now is my thumbs hurt to bend them even that much. I can't bend it more than that because it hurts. And my wrists, both wrists, but this one's, the left one is worse. I have a bulge. It hurts right here. And even to touch it, it hurts. And there's a bulge right there. It's like swollen. And then here looks normal. And then I have a big bulge of puffiness here. It's hard to see on the video, but to see, but it's here, big bump here. Compare it with my other hand that's pretty flat. And you can see. Anyways, I want to wrap up this video as fast as I can, but so I was approached with an idea last Thursday evening. There's a little boy in Kyle's class that he's really hit it off with, and they've become good friends, and we ran into him and his mom and little brother at the park a couple times, and she just thought I was great with Kyle as the nanny. And so one day in the morning at school, she was talking with Kyle's mom and telling her she's been looking for a part-time nanny to do 15 hours a week with her 2 kids. And so Kyle's mom got this idea of, of doing a nanny share, where 3 days a week from 11:15 until 4:15 I would have 3 children, 2 4-year-old boys and a 13-month-old boy. And they were going to, I usually get paid $12 an hour just for Kyle, just for one child. But they were going to pay me $18 an hour for the 3 kids. And to me, I'm an early childhood educator. I've done so much with Kyle the past 2 years. I've taught him so much. I taught him how to write his name in one day. I've taught him how to dial 911. I've taught him numbers, letters, shapes, colors, about the world around him. I mean, just everything. And to me, an extra $6 for 2 children did not make sense. I personally thought it should be treated as 2 separate jobs. If I'm getting paid $12 an hour for one child, then why am I only getting paid $6 an hour or more for 2? I didn't get it. And when I worked it out after taxes, it was only going to be an extra $40 a week. And when I thought about how I struggle just with taking care of Kyle, I knew having those 2 extra children was going to take even more out of me, especially a 13-month-old who would require me to be on the floor with him, playing with him, bending over and holding his hands to help him walk because he can't totally walk on his own yet. More lifting, more bending, and my body is already in pain as it is. I just knew it was not going to be worthwhile for my health's sake. And I really thought I had the option to decline. And so on this past Saturday, they got together at Kyle's house and called me for my decision. And I just said, I'm really sorry, but, I just think it's too much for me right now. And they were okay with that, or so I thought. And I had to sleep over at Kyle's on Sunday night because his mom was going to go on a business trip on Monday and had to leave early in the morning. And when I got there, I was going to get ready to head up and go to bed right away because it was 10 o'clock. But she wanted to talk to me. And she gave me 4 weeks' notice that in 4 weeks I would no longer be working there. And she told me it was nothing that I did wrong. She said, I've been great the past 2 years, and, basically what I just said, I've taught Kyle a lot, and everything's been great. And, she said she'd write me an amazing reference letter, but she just felt that his needs are changing, and she basically, because I said no, is why I lost the job, because she really wants to do this shared nanny so that Kyle has a playmate. And she said she wants someone who has the energy to take on a nanny share. and someone who has the energy to be athletic with Kyle, even though he shows absolutely no interest in sports whatsoever. But I guess this is her decision that she wants to get him into sports. Personally, I just say let him be a kid. He just started kindergarten, but whatever. And she wants someone that could be like a coach to him. A coach to a kindergarten. I don't get it. Anyway. So, she tells me this before I have to go to sleep. Needless to say, I did not sleep at all that night. And I had to get up at 7 a.m. to get him breakfast and ready for school. I was a mess the whole day. I just wanted to go home. And I felt like crying every second. So yeah, I'm losing my job now because of lupus. And I'm going to end this video here because I know I only have 15 minutes and I'm at 11. And I don't want to have to do any editing. So I'm going to stop this and I will finish the rest of my update in the next video in a couple